Can I save you literally months of unnecessary stress? If you are a local business owner, your videos probably do not need thousands and thousands of views, okay? In fact, they may already be working. I just got off the phone today with one of my clients, also a dear friend of mine, and she was just expressing to me some frustration, some discouragement. She's been running a podcast for almost a year now, and the numbers on her podcast just aren't what she wishes they would be. And, before we launched the podcast together, I tried to mentally prepare her for this, having run podcasts myself before and seen many other people launch their own podcast, start posting on social media, and start trying to, build an audience. I tried to prepare her. Hey, listen, podcasts can take up to 5 to 10 years to build a really substantial, solid audience. So do not get down on yourself. You're showing up, you're consistent, you're doing the things that matter to get those reps in. But at the end of the day, I feel like I can give you that encouragement all day, but until I explain why views actually don't matter as much as we think they do, you're not really going to feel any peace about the content that you're posting. So, if you are a discouraged business owner or creator trying to build an audience and feeling like you're getting nowhere, feeling like 300 views means that you failed, please listen to what I have to say. It's going to really, really hopefully encourage you to keep going and to also shift your perspective on really what you should be caring about when you're creating content. First of all, the problem here is that we are tying our worth as business owners, as creators, entrepreneurs to the views that we're getting. Okay. We think that low performing views mean we suck. We think that that means, oh gosh, everyone's looking at what we're posting, what we're podcasting about, seeing that we're getting these low number of views because obviously that's public information. And we start feeling a little embarrassed, right? Maybe feeling some imposter syndrome. And eventually we start feeling burnt out because we think this is only worthwhile if I'm getting X amount of views. So you start getting down on yourself before you've even really started. We start questioning whether creating content is even worth it. So the assumption here, the key assumption is that low views equals no impact. But that is where you're mistaken, my friend, okay? The reality of posting content online, especially if you are a small business owner and if you're trying to reach a small local audience, the reality is that you don't need millions of people viewing your content. And in fact, that's actually such a distraction to get caught up in trying to reach millions, okay? You don't need millions of people. You need the right people, a small little group of people consistently seeing your content again and again and again. So for example, if there are only, say, a few thousand people in your small town, your city, who would realistically buy from you, okay? Why are you chasing national creator numbers, like 5 million views? That number of people doesn't even exist where you are. So even if somebody sees your video in Alaska, are they going to be purchasing from your local business? Most likely not. If you don't have the capability to perform a service remotely or ship to Alaska, which many of my clients don't, it doesn't really matter. Yes, we want to look at metrics because that tells us how we can improve our content. And there are some cases that it could be a content problem. It could be that you're posting crap content. Just rip the Band-Aid off there. That could be a possibility. However, I think the bigger problem when we're feeling burnout and we're feeling like very over content is because we're paying attention to the wrong metrics. You are caught up in what we call vanity metrics, okay? That refers to the views on your video and the likes on your video. Likes mean squat. Okay. I don't even want you to pay attention to likes because there are people who will watch the entirety of your video and not press like. Okay. Likes don't matter and views are vanity metrics. You could have, for example, I recently had a client who we created a reel for him. He got over, I think it was 110,000 views on one of his very first reels. We had just created an Instagram page for him, Facebook page for him. And for whatever reason on this brand new account, one of his videos blew up, got over 100,000 views. And you know how many sales resulted from that? A big fat zero. Okay. So just because your content gets a ton of views doesn't mean that it's going to get you the result that you want, right? So rather than focusing on views or likes, here are the metrics that I want you to focus on. These are success metrics, actual metrics that indicate whether or not your content is effective. So did you get someone that purchased from you or stopped in your store or had a conversation with you about your product and mentioned that they saw your video or listened to your podcast episode? Okay. Did you post something and then get a DM in response to it? Did you have a high number of shares on a piece of content? Did a customer say, I've been following you for a while, but I just didn't pull the trigger and reach out to you or buy from you, but I've been following you for forever? Are you being consistent, right? Are you staying top of mind and consistently putting content out there and showing up in front of the same people? If you can answer those questions with a yes at any point in time, whether it's yesterday or a month ago, if you can say yes to any of those questions that I just asked, those are the moments that are building your business brick by brick by brick. It's what lays the foundation for creating better performing content in the future as well. If you do care about your content performing well, which I think it's okay to, it just can't be the thing that's motivating you, right? Like if you're trying to go viral every single time, like you are going to be so burnt out, dude. Those are the things that you need to keep in mind instead of views. Now, we can't do any of that unless we first remove the freaking pressure. The pressure is self-created. I had this conversation with my client today. I was like, girl, you are putting all of this pressure on yourself that no one else put on you, by the way, to create content, 1, consistently, 2, to get all these views, and 3, to suddenly be like Mr. Beast overnight, right? Nobody is analyzing your content the way that you think they are. This is a conversation that I've had with myself many times, especially when I was just getting started in the creator space. You think, I'm posting every week and I'm only getting 200, 300 views on each piece of content. How embarrassing. I suck. Should I just delete my account? Should I just stop trying? It's human, okay? You're not alone in that. It's human. However, on a real level, on a logical level, literally everyone else is so obsessed with their own life, their own content, whatever they're doing. No one is sitting and looking at your content and thinking that you're a failure, okay? You're the only one doing that. So most people will just see your video, enjoy it, scroll, and move on, right? And if it was a great piece of content and it does push them closer to your business, they're going to let you know about it. They're going to DM you. They're going to reach out to you. They're going to leave a comment. They're going to share it. Something will come from it if it was good. And if it wasn't that great, people are just scrolling. Okay. And it's just a great way for you to kind of learn, okay, why didn't this perform? You can take it as feedback, right? You can make adjustments when something doesn't do well. And you can say, okay, why didn't this perform well? You can look at the analytics. You can assess the video. You can try to understand why it didn't do well. But beating yourself up and putting all this pressure on yourself to explode overnight, how is that helping you? How is that helping your business or your product or whatever it is that you're creating content for? How is that helping you get better? So in these moments, you need to remove the pressure and you also need to remember your why. Are you posting content because you want to get 1 million views? Or are you posting content to support a dream that you have to help your business get out there in front of other people? This is where brand awareness really comes in, because a lot of people think that the whole point of posting on social media or having a podcast is to get a bunch of engagement with it, which obviously can be a great thing. But really what it is a brand awareness tool. It's a networking tool. It's a way for you to show up in the digital space and say, hey, I'm a real person. Here are my morals, my values. Here's what I'm into. Here's my personality. Here's my product. Here's what's so great about my product. Here's a behind the scenes look at my product. This is a chance for you to share yourself with the world. Social media is meant to be social and to interact, right? It's not meant to be like, here, just like my stuff, follow me, engage with me. Like, it's not about what you can receive from other people. It's about what you can offer the world and then what they can learn or get from whatever you have to offer, right? It's a reciprocal relationship. And so if we're hyper focused on views, we lose sight of the why we're doing anything in the first place, right? I want to talk about Mr. Beast for a second because he is such a good example of what we're talking about here. So if you guys don't know Mr. Beast, this man has amassed over 508 million subscribers. 508 million subscribers on YouTube. And for like 7 years, this man could not get his view counts above 1,000 views per video. And it took him like 7 years, 100 videos before that ever happened. And when he finally did have his big break, even then it wasn't an overnight success. It was like a slow climb for him. The point here isn't to compare yourself to Mr. Beast, but rather remember that every successful creator, influencer, business owner, entrepreneur, they started by creating content that almost nobody watched. And they started running a business with 0 customers. Like literally everyone starts somewhere. And I feel like that is what we all lose sight of at some point or another because we're playing the comparison game, right? So if your goal is to become the most recognizable business in your community, you've got to stop chasing viral videos and views and followers, okay? You got to start showing up on a consistent basis until you hear people saying, I see you everywhere. That's the goal. You want to be consistent. You want to be seen everywhere. You want to be top of mind. You want that brand awareness, right? Y'all, I hope this was helpful for you. This is a conversation that I have to have with myself, that I have with my clients often. And again, it's not bad to want to get great content that engages people, but look at engagement, comments, shares, saves, DMs, conversations, actual purchases off of your website. Look for those type of engagements. Please do not look at views, okay? It's a waste of time. It's going to burn you out. It's going to cause you so much stress. And it's really not worth it because content is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be chaotic. And if you need help creating content and bringing your business to life in the digital space, that's exactly what Ledbetter Marketing does. We create social media, podcast, and website content that helps small businesses get in front of the right customers. And we do this in a very data-driven and authentic way that helps you to create effective content that doesn't cost you who you are and who your brand is. So if you want to chat, you can send me a DM at Ledbetter Marketing on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you are, and we can get a conversation started. But in the meantime, remember, have fun with content and do not burn yourself out. We'll see you next time. Presented by Ledbetter Marketing. Better content led with purpose.